All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the last match of the night. The last one nearly gave me a heart attack, Aventus. Blaze taking it down in 7, a very close matchup there. A great one to lead into the Titan League Grand Finals where everything is on the line here.
Yeah, I mean the that last rival series was just absolutely fantastic from every single aspect. You know, you got the content in Game 6, you got Game 7. It's such a close series. Blaze did end up barely getting the win. I mean, I honestly, if you had told me a rival was winning that series, I would have believed you. I mean, that's how close it really was. But enough about the rival league. We are talking about the Titan League, the final grand finals matchup of the night between Inferno and Spartans. I mean, both these teams absolutely fantastic. I mean, if we can pull up the bracket a little bit real quick. I know we're a little bit behind. You know, obviously Spartans being able to decimate Godfathers in the first round, 4-0 sweep, and then upsetting Venganza on the Nemesis After Dark, because you know there's some technical issues. But Spartans able to complete that upset. Now they're going into the grand finals and they are taking on Inferno. Inferno, man, they had Tman subbing up against Dragons, and let me tell you, they looked like a full team. Like it looked like they were a legit Titan team, anyways. Like with Tman in, and they just did so well, and you can really see that even without Pizza for that semifinals matchup, they still were decimating on the goals. They had 2.6 goals per game, 4.5 saves. I mean, they just had some great solo plays coming out. I mean, Rockiers played absolutely fantastic, and Juju did well as well. I mean, Tman, he was just kind of like that solid rotational player that you need. You don't need the flashy plays when you do everything little correctly. And I mean, they did really well. But and both these teams just very, very good. I mean, I'm happy that this is the grand finals matchup.
Yeah, no, and it's sure to be a great one here. It looks like we've got them all joined up in the lobby. You guys saw the stats, the postseason stats thus far between these two teams. It looks like everybody's loaded in, ready to go. Ventus, I gotta know, who do you got in this one? Who is taking the Titan League Grand Finals to close out Season 12?
So contrary to my betting, I put points, I put channel points on Inferno just because of the lopsided prediction, but I have to agree with the large sum of the prediction that Spartans is gonna win it. I think they were able to get over that hump. They've looked really good against Venganza, and I think they're gonna continue that momentum. I think that all three of these guys are super solid, and I'm not saying that Pizza might have a worse game not playing recently and being completely gone for a week and a half on vacation, but it might play a factor into it. You never know how the rust will shake off, and I think that because of how the Spartans played in the semifinals with all three of them there, with Marv stepping up big time, Aciduk playing really well, and Kratozz kind of being that solid third man, that rotational player that you need. I mean, he didn't necessarily do anything fancy, but he just played he did all the little things correctly, like I said about Tman, but I mean at an even higher level. And I think just the way Titans played in semifinals gives me so much confidence in them.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see who is gonna come out big in this one as things are underway. Season 12 Titan League Grand Finals. We got Inferno in the red tonight with Juju, Rockiers, and Pizza, who you mentioned. Inferno was missing Pizza in their semifinal matchups. A big upset there to survive even without him. But here comes Big Crate striking first with the Spartans.
Yeah, I mean that's a great pass there off the corner. I mean Marv reads it perfectly. Marv puts it off the backboard. Kratozz already following that one up. The chemistry already working in tandem between those two. And I mean, in the first matchup, it kind of seemed like it was the Kratozz and Aciduk show when they're taking on the Godfathers. You know, it was really those two generating all the offense, and Marv really stepped up in the semifinals. He played super fantastic. I wasn't sure how Spartans were going to do against Venganza if Marv wasn't at his full strength, but I mean, when he's pulling all the stops out early in this series, it gives me even more confidence.
Oh, most definitely here. I mean, these players are some of the best that we have to offer here in the Titan League. Obviously, the season Titan League went up to the highest ever minimum boundary, so the bottom floor for Titan League has gotten even bigger, and that's because the top of Titan, has raised even higher as well with all these players. A lot of great players in Titan League this season, and both these teams have had some great seasons thus far. They're trying to end it out with a championship here. Spartans were able to take the early lead here. Rockiers waiting, trying to snipe that one through, not quite. This one gonna be pushed over to the corner. Gonna take it over the top of one. Trying to turn it back around, Rockiers, but that one is denied away. Another one fired towards it, but Kratozz is there just in time, able to push it off. His pizza gonna push this one up over the top, sending this one down, but no one quite ready to follow here. Is another big 50, trying to drop it down, pushing it towards Rockiers. Off the backboard, but Pizza jumps as well. Kratozz, he can't quite get the clear he was looking for, but a great follow, able to get it away, and that was a big chance there for Inferno. Ventus just couldn't quite capitalize.
Yeah, and I mean, Inferno, they've had a couple good chances. I mean, it looks like this might just actually be in a mistouch there, and a good pass. Like it looks like a dunk from Marv on Juju, and Rockiers not really expecting that. I was a little bit confused about how that one went in the back of the net. You usually don't see many just like open nets in Titan. But yeah, I mean, Inferno had those chances. They put up some great shots, but it seemed like they just weren't really in sync. I mean, Rocky had a great play into putting it into the midfield, and so did Juju, but it seemed like Pizza wasn't on the same page as those two guys, and it was really the difference. And maybe that's just the coming off of a week vacation, something that happens where you're not really in the same mindset as the other two, where they have played together, they know how they played in the semifinals and what worked out for them, and now it's you're completely changing the lineup. I think that there's going to be some growing pains. We might see that here, at least in game number 1, but I'd expect them to kind of settle in at least the later bit of this game, maybe game 2.
Yeah, and I mean, Ventus, it's for Pizza here, since he didn't play in that matchup in the Titan League. They had that bye through because they were the 2 seed. So Pizza has not played with this team since July 23rd, and it's August 20th right now. So it's been nearly a month, and Marv is trying to replicate what happened at the end of the season, where Spartans were able to sweep Inferno.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good pass. A little bit of a double commit, but Marv kind of reads that touch very well and is able to get back to it. Pizza not really able to get a touch on that one. Even though he had full boost, he was just in a super awkward position. And I mean, when you have something like that where a double commit, you're not really sure who's going to touch the ball, turning into a good communication between the Spartans players, it kind of works out very well in their favor, putting Pizza super awkward, and that one is going to end up being in the Spartans' favor, working out for a goal for them. And I mean, Spartans have looked very good. I mean, I talked about Marv really stepping up in the semifinals, and he's done so once again. I mean, 1 goal, 2 assists, 2 saves. It's kind of been everywhere that they needed to be. Aciduk playing some great defense, especially, and Kratozz kind of being a facilitator, being there for cleanup as well. I think that the Spartans team is playing really well. I wouldn't be surprised if they took this game and continued their momentum into game 2. But I think that Inferno are very good at being able to break down teams, especially with solo plays. So I'm looking for Juju, Rocky, and Pizza to use those solo plays, get the beats, and force Spartans into super tough spots where they're overcommitting on defense and they're having to double commit with low boost, and so, where we're just drawing out Spartans even more, because right now they haven't really tested them too much on defense.
Yeah, now with the final 10 seconds remaining here, Inferno is trying to get one on the board here, and Rockiers is going to find the dunk, but with 7 seconds left, might be a little bit too late.
Yeah, and this is a great play by Pizza, especially going for the bump, forcing him into a bad spot, and Rocky taking full advantage of that. He's just able to get a low 50, put that one in the back of the net, give Inferno a little bit of a consolation prize. Yes, they are going to probably lose this game number 1, but it gives them some momentum, some confidence going into game number 2, where they're able to break down the Spartans' defense. They're able to capitalize on a missed rotation of sorts, where they had Marv last back with relatively low boost in a 2v1. And I mean, overall, it's just a feel good. You know, you finally got the Pizza and Rocky working together, and they contributed to a goal together, and I think that's what you need going in. You don't necessarily need to win game number 1, as long as you feel confident about the outcome of, hey, I know we lost 3-1, but we looked a lot better in the second half. So I think that they aren't too upset with the loss.
Yeah, no, definitely, it definitely got something at the end there, as we're going to get a little bit of a server reset here going into game number 2. But I mean, really, just playing a solid game right there in that game number 1, were were the Spartans. I mean, they did whatever they had to do, Ventus, and it seemed like they were just able to hold on for for the rest of the match, pretty much.
Yeah, it seemed like Kratos was really working well in tandem with Marv, especially. Those two were on the same wavelength when it came to passes off the corner backboard and just getting follow up touches for each other, cutting in the middle of rotation, and they worked really cohesively. It's something that they did well in the Venganza match, but we didn't have to see too much. But I think that it's really going to be up to Inferno. I mean, obviously, I'm looking for Pizza to step up. He's on vacation. He hasn't played much with them. It's really going to be up to him to see how well he fits in. He's got to mesh with that Juju and Rocky because obviously they played very well when they played against Dragons. They were able to shut them down completely. Have a lot of pressure and presence, and I feel like they don't have that right now. And it might be Spartans just playing very well, but I think it's something more so that they're not really a full team yet. I think it's still Pizza and then Rocky and Juju. Kind of two separate mentalities, and they really have to come together as one to fix their rotations.
Yeah, and we'll have to see if they're going to be able to do that heading into game number 2. Spartans going to be up 1-0 in this series here. As looks like we're having a little bit of technical difficulties here, but we'll try to resort it out here in a second and see what we can figure out. But I mean, yeah, Inferno, they've been one of the better teams in Titan League this entire season, and trying to close it out right now. Trying to end it off, but the Spartans, they gave them a really good run here in that first game. I mean, what do you need to see here from Inferno Ventus in game number 2 to try to bring this one back?
I feel like just they weren't as dominant in the midfield. I feel like a lot of times they had to solo play out of their back end of their half, and they might have gotten a beat on one of the Spartans defenders, but there was always a follow up, and there wasn't any passing or communication in the midfield between the Inferno players, and so I talked about it a little bit earlier with being in sync with each other, and I think that really holds true. If you don't have any communication or any trust in your teammates, especially, you're gonna start to double commit. You're gonna start to overcommit, and it's gonna end up really, really poorly.
Yeah, no, definitely so here as we're gonna try to get this next game going in here in just a second. See if we can reset it up here as we're gonna try to get into this one, but a little bit of scuffed here to try to get it reset here, but we will get it going here in just a sec. Any final thoughts here, Ventus, before we get into this next game?
No, I think that Inferno need to come out swinging. I think they need to play aggressively, and I think that they have what it takes. I think that these guys are both really good teams.
Yeah, definitely so. As looks like we're gonna get it going. Okay, never mind. It's a little too scuffed here. Actually, they're on the team now. We can reset it from here. We're still working out the kinks. We're still working out the kinks here. Yeah, there we go.
Hey, this is when admin is really useful. Match admin. You can actually reset it and then
Yeah. We'll restart it. We'll restart it from the kickoff here. There we go. That looks good enough for me here. As we'll get it underway. Yeah, it did kind of just give us like a 1 second start there, but we got it sorted here. We're gonna get it into game number 2 here of the Titan League Grand Finals, and Spartans still holding on to that one game advantage here in this one. We'll see if they can add to it, or if Inferno can battle back as this one is pushed off into the corner. Marv gonna take control. Rockiers gonna push that one up in the ceiling. 50 gonna come across as it's gonna be blocked off to the side. Pizza gonna find that 50 ball up in the midfield. Gonna be punched off the corner there, dropping down in midfield, looking for a bump there, but Rockiers is gonna clear it out as Kratozz got a lot of boost. Gonna try to find the 50, but Pizza with a great dunk, able to get that one away. As Marv send this one off to the side, gonna throw it off the backboard, can't quite find the follow, but here comes Aciduk, gonna throw that one in bottom right, and Spartans take the lead.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great demo on Kratozz, able to take out one of the players with boost on the ball. And, I mean, Marv, free touch to the backboard. Rocky, not really able to get that read, at least not in time where Aciduk is able to put that one in the back of the net. And it just seems like Inferno is playing very reactive right now. They're not playing proactive with the understanding of how the play is developing. They're expecting their players to full beat Spartans a lot of the time, and when that doesn't happen, they are fully committed to that read, and when they get demoed or when there's a bump or a beat in the midfield, then they just completely fall apart. Like I think was that Rockiers expected Juju to get a touch in the midfield, but when Spartans was getting a beat on him, Kratozz got a beat on Juju in the midfield. Rocky completely fell apart because he was over pushed up on the read that he had, and it wasn't the read that came to fruition. And I think that they're just trying to play too much to the one specific outcome that they're expecting, and that they're not accounting for all the other outcomes that may happen.
Yeah, no, and you saw it there. That overcommit is going to allow Spartans to get that goal and put themselves up 2-0 here in game number 2. This wall going to be blocked up, heading back towards Spartans' end. Rockiers tries to find the 50. It's going to go back the other way. Off the corner. Going to find another touch there. Going to get it by 1, but a dive comes through from Marv. Looking to set this one up. Going to get a flip reset. It's going to drop it down. Looking for a demo there, but can't quite find much from it. As this one popped over the top of 2. Can they find the 50? Out of the midfield, a big demo gets in the way. Spartans couldn't quite capitalize on that one. Inferno going to live to fight another day, but they've got to try to break out here. Down by 2. The ball dropping in the midfield. Rockiers sending it out towards the backboard. Kratozz goes to take that one. Going to beat it by 1. Pizza is going to come through. A big bump on the backside. Pizza going to push this one around. Pizza tossing this one up, but it's going to be sent out as Juju going to clear it back out. Inferno trying to get one on the board here. This one is on the goal line. It's just going to go in. It was almost saved, but Juju is going to get Inferno back within 1.
Yeah, and that was almost a crazy save between Kratozz and Marv there. And I mean, or I guess it was just Kratozz. Kratozz almost got the save. I mean, a good play from Juju really to opening up the scoring. A good shot off the sidewall. Keeping kind of unexpected. Usually, like the Spartans didn't expect him to take a shot there, and it kind of worked out in his favor because it wasn't the greatest shot. But when the rotation of the Spartans wasn't expecting a shot from that angle or from that position, it completely threw them off guard. They weren't able to recover in time, and once again, it's a good showing that they are able to score on this Spartans team. They are able to do it, but they got to clean up specifically in rotations. They just seem way out of whack, and I think that they really need to clean up their rotations if they want to win. But it's a great start.
Yeah, no, it is most definitely a start here. As this one will be pinched off the backboard. Oh my goodness, and Kratozz comes through on the 50. That was a great play there by the Spartans, just putting so much pressure.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great play by Aciduk, getting just the touches on the back wall to beat out Rockiers. And we see Marv having full faith in Aciduk that he's going to get the beat, and he almost puts it in off the pre-jump, and it's going to go off the crossbar, or off the post, and I mean, it's going to have to take that third man, and I believe that was, I forget who that was, honestly, in Aciduk, or and Kratozz to follow that one up and put that one in. And overall, I mean, it's just another great 1-2-3 play from the Spartans where they're able to beat out the players from Inferno. We haven't seen the real defensive prowess of like a Rockiers that we normally see, as he's one of the top-rated players in all of Titan League. And he hasn't really been able to show his defense out because the Spartans have been so good in their shot placement, as Marv misses a little bit high on that one.
Yeah, close one there. Not quite able to get that one, but yeah, in that last Spartans attack, they sent everybody to go after that net, and you know, Inferno didn't quite have an answer to get it away, so they're trying to push this one out. Now the net kind of open, opportunity, going to take it a little bit slow, trying to fire it past, but Juju can't quite get it around the last defender. Is Marv now going to send this one out, going to pop it by 1, looking to stay with it, going to hit it off the backboard again. Aciduk trying to get up to that one. Kratozz looking to come through, but not a lot of boost. Marv coming back, a big double commit. There's now a minute remaining. Inferno has a good opportunity for a counter, but can they push it away off the backboard? Follow-up shot is going to come through. Juju and Inferno going to find a great counter.
Yeah, it was absolutely crucial that Inferno was able to score on that one. Spartans have gotten so aggressive and confident in their ability to play on offense that they started to make some overcommits, and it was a very blatant one there, and Inferno needed to capitalize on it. They did, and I mean, it's a great play from Inferno. Spartans maybe a little bit too overzealous, but I can respect the effort. I mean, they've been very good on the offensive half, and their plays have worked for the majority, but it's gonna backfire here.
Oh, it's a demo trying to open up some space on the backside there, but Spartans still able to get the clears. We're down to the final 30 seconds. Inferno really got to get things going. Juju trying to throw it up to Pizza there. Pizza off the corner, looking for a double tap off the backboard. Kratozz going to keep that one around, going to stay with it as there is harassment in net. Rockiers going to opt to take it around the pitch here, trying to get this one out of his own zone, but this one blocked down. Aciduk off the backboard. Gonna leave it for Juju. Juju up to Rockiers, trying to fire towards the net, but he couldn't put it on. Marv may have been there to block it away. This one's still floating. Kratozz gonna push it up, trying to get it towards the ground, and it will touch there. And the Spartans gonna come through with a Game 2 victory, put themselves up 2-0 in the series.
Yeah, I mean, Spartans look good, man. That's all I can say. I mean, they just seem to be really following up on each other. The comps seem pretty good where they aren't really double committing. If they are double committing, it's not in really crucial spots, at least for now. And they only had that one really bad overcommit where they double committed. But for the most part, I mean, their aggression has worked out. It's kept Inferno on the back foot. They've been taking the boost. And I think that they've just been playing really well. And I think that's a lot of it's due to Marv. I think Marv is having an absolutely phenomenal series. I mean, he's really been the jolt the Spartans needed. Obviously, he played well in that Venganza series, but I think he's taken it to a whole nother level. I feel like he's kind of become the star of the Spartans, whereas we've usually talked about Kratozz or Aciduk kind of being that go-to player. But I mean, I just think that's how good Marv has really stepped up and how much he's really improved this team.
Yeah, no, he is most certainly a great player. As, a big miss might come to Caster's Curse. No, Rockiers, he can't put it down. That one a great opportunity. Still trying to fire it in, but not quite, as Game 3 starts off a little crazy here. And Inferno not opting to use the tactical timeout there. So they're trying to fire this one in, Ventus. And we've talked about it in a couple series. I know you mentioned it in that Challenger Grand Finals where Samurai opted not to use the timeout. They didn't use it at all, going down 0-3 and then eventually 0-4. But do you think this was the right call here? Is this one, a little close? Juju gonna make the touch to try to clear it away. But the Aventus, do you think it was the right call not to call the timeout here?
I mean, obviously only time will tell. I think that I personally always like to use my timeout early rather than not use it at all. I really enjoy communicating and talking about what we need to fix in between games. And I know that these players are really good, and they have the ability to kind of shorten what they need to say, and they could probably just use the time that's in the post-game lobby as enough. I think that Inferno has played better in Game 2. They still haven't been playing great. I would have liked them to just spend a little bit more time. I think they should have used their timeout just to kind of talk about it a little bit more, talk about the rotation mistakes, talk about how they want to communicate differently just so that they are more cohesive on defense and offense. Because a lot of the times their plays, I mean, there's a pass from Juju to Rockiers. It looked like Rockiers, with 0 seconds left, tried to pass it to Pizza, but Pizza wasn't in the correct position that Rockiers thought it was. And I think it's just that kind of miscommunication and that play style difference, especially right now, that's really limited Inferno. I would have liked them to communicate to get a little bit more on the same page, just so that they can have some more offense and clean up their defense a little bit. But I mean, if they win this game, they look like geniuses.
Yeah, we'll see, as this one's gonna drop down. Aciduk off the passing play, and maybe a little less like geniuses there, as Marv gonna make Juju look a little silly.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great touch from Marv. Juju completely zero boost, has to jump for the block, and I mean, he just takes full advantage of that, slows the play down. He knows Aciduk is there for the follow-up, and that's the communication that I think that Spartans has done really well that I wish Inferno would have, because it seems like Inferno is just very overcommitty. They aren't on the same page, but it seems like Spartans are just all on the same page. They're all clicking at the same time. They're challenging for each other. They're cutting rotation for each other, and I feel like it's just been very cohesive. And I wish that's what Inferno would do, because I feel like that's the only thing missing from their play. I think that Inferno overall, that's the biggest part. They need to look for these passes more. They need to have their rotations just a little bit cleaner. And I'm a little bit disappointed by how Inferno's playing, because these players are so good. Rockiers is, I believe he's the number one player in he's the number 1 player in saves per game, but he's the number 4 player in all of Titan League, and I just feel like he hasn't really shown up, because I don't know if they are really in the position to.
Yeah, as this one is just going to be banged on the net. Inferno caught out again here, and they really just have not been able to find an answer. The Spartans are just getting nearly whatever they want on pretty much every occasion here, And now, again, a double tap gonna come through. Kratozz putting it home. And this guy, he's moved up the leagues over Nemesis. And now he's hitting shots like this in the Titan League Grand Finals.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, Pizza just didn't respect the double tap attempt there. I mean, he literally left net expecting it to pop off the backboard and get the follow-up touch. And I mean, when you're not respected, I mean, these players are very good. I mean, we're talking about 1800 plus. I mean, a lot of the cap space for these teams can be 1950 and 2K players. And so when you're not really respecting that ability, or not reading the play correctly into that aspect, I mean, it's absolutely detrimental because you can't give a bunch of free space to the Spartans, but I mean, you can't give free space to Juju either, apparently.
No, you cannot. A great pop up there, and Juju gonna take this one down, get a flip reset right over the top. That is a great play, and maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, Ventus. I don't know if I'm gonna be right in saying this, but I feel like Juju is the only one that has scored for Inferno. At least it feels like that at the very least.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's correct. I know he scored on the Rockiers. Rockiers got a low 50 goal on a pizza demo or a pizza bump in game number 1, and that was their one goal. But besides that, yeah, Juju's been the only player to score at least in games 2 and 3. And I mean, when you don't have any offense or driving force, I feel like I'm really looking for Pizza to be that playmaker, that facilitator, because I mean, they obviously, a majority of their gameplay has been solo plays. They're not necessarily fully known for having great assists. I believe the highest on their team is Rockiers, who only has half assists per game. But I mean, when you're making plays like Pizza, I guess you don't need an assist.
Yeah, you might not. I mean, maybe a little bit of a verbal assist right here as Juju, well, I thought he was harassing. Maybe he was just flipping through the net there, but a big dunk from Pizza. They're going to put that one in the back of the net. And finally, we're seeing a little bit of signs of life here for this Inferno team, but can they turn it into a Game 3 victory? Will the Spartans be able to hold on? This ball can be 50 down the midfield. Pizza looking to take control, trying to get it by the last defender. The ball's popping up. It could be very dangerous. Juju is trying to fire it in, but another double commit force on the end of the Spartans as Inferno trying to push this one across, but a great 50 from Kratozz. Going to send that one back. This one pushed off to the side. Juju can't quite find that touch. As it's going to be sent down. Juju trying to get this one. Passing down to Rockiers. Rocky trying to roll that one around, but not quite able to do so as Juju is going to get beat out here. Now Inferno got to try to find something. Otherwise, they're going to be looking at a near impossible feat. Trying to pull back the reverse sweep as Marv looking to send this one down. He's taking control. He's dribbling it around the corner. He's going to get it by another. Rockiers going to send this one up. Looking for Pizza, but Kratozz, he's quicker to that ball. Juju dunking in the midfield, but Marv is right back. Sending it across. Rockiers gotta try to clear this one out. He's gonna put it up to the side. Pizza gonna beat it by 1. He's trying to stay with it. He's looking for the dunk. A double commit comes through, and now last opportunity for Inferno. The ball pushed up. It's dropped down. The ball is rolling. Can Pizza get to it? No, he's gonna be denied away. He almost got the last defender, but it's shut down, and the Spartans are up 3-0 here in the grand finals.
Yeah, I mean, they have to call their timeout now, Ruckerman, right? I feel like they
Yes.
have to. You can't go down 0-3, then not use their timeout. It seems like we've heard this story already with the Challenger League. I mean, when you don't use your timeout to talk, you can't game plan. You can't change anything up, really. And, I mean, the Spartans are playing very well. I mean, Marv. I'm saying Marv having a fantastic series, by the way. I think he's MVP'd all 3 games. I mean, he's absolutely standout. He's having an amazing game, and props where props are due, by the way. But I want more from Inferno, and I'm really expecting Pizza and Rockiers to be that. You talked about Juju having really the only goals in the series, and I mean, Pizza got one at the end there, but I mean, Juju's really been that only main offensive driver, and I feel like they just aren't able to get the beats in the midfield. I feel like we're used to seeing Pizza being the main driver behind the offense. I mean, he's 6th in all of Titan League in goals per game in the regular season. I mean, he has 0.86 goals per game, and right now it seems like he's barely scratched the surface of what he can do on the offensive side of the ball. And I just feel like they're getting beat out in the midfield. Their speed isn't as quick as they normally are, and I think that's kind of a big difference maker, because when they're getting beat a lot in the midfield and then they're playing off the reads of the beat, then it's devastation, because you're overcommitting way too hard on a play that doesn't happen. But I just think that their offense has just been so underwhelming.
Yeah, no, it really has. As they're trying to get something here, and they are going to opt to not use the timeout. So I'm hoping that these guys will not meet the same fate as the Samurai from earlier. Then we can extend this series a little bit longer, but they're going to have to find a way to break through and break through consistently. As this one drop down attempt, but Juju is going to corral it off the backboard. Going to look for the musty, trying to find that double. Rockiers is going to help him out. Rocky going to take this one up. What does Rockiers have for us? Looking to go under. He's going to drop it down right to Pizza, who's going to put it in. And there is some Inferno offense we've been looking for.
Yeah, I mean, it is a good pass from Juju onto the sidewall for Rockiers in the outlet. It was a good play from Rockiers, getting the flip, faking it, forcing Spartans into a really tough spot where they have to double commit, and their communication isn't going to be as crystal clear and tight that it was previously. And then Pizza, a good follow-up and a good finish. And, I mean, I talked about wanting to see these two, Pizza and Rockiers, more on the offensive side of the ball, and I mean they've done just that. I mean now Pizza 2 goals, getting a beat in the midfield on Marv. I mean it seems like Inferno has come alive, and I mean I don't want to say that too soon. Obviously we all know that things can change, but I mean it's great to see Inferno having signs of life, having these offensive plays that we haven't seen previously.
Yeah, no, it is very nice. And finally, Inferno with a little bit of a lead, a little bit of some cushion here, but maybe not for long. Oh my goodness, Rockiers with a great touch, able to clear that one away. As Pizza now setting up off the backboard. Here comes Juju. No, it's going to ring off the post. Rockiers hits it off the post. Oh no. And that has been the story of this series thus far. But thankfully, Ventus in this game number 4, at least for the moment, they have a lead. It's a great save comes through. Oh my goodness. Some craziness happening. These teams are starting to heat up as Kratozz is trying to fire it through. Another shot coming out in the midfield, finally cleared away.
Yeah, and I mean, we know Inferno can have that really good defense. You know, Pizza and Rockiers both in the top 5 in saves per game. And I mean, we've seen them time and time again just save absolutely incredible shots. And I mean, it's really what they need to do if they want to get back into the series. They've done very well to not only maintain their lead, keep the pressure. They've been out shooting Spartans in this series. And I mean, they've looked a lot cleaner. We see a lot more passes in the midfield, especially coming from Pizza. And I feel like Inferno have kind of stepped it up. I'm looking for now Spartans to react. I'm looking for Aciduk to kind of be that player that steps up as well. Because, I mean, he's had a quiet series, but he hasn't had to have a loud series because Marv has just been playing so good. But I think that Aciduk finding another gear for this Spartans team is going to put them over the hump. It's what they need to beat this Inferno roster as they are now, because I think the Inferno's kicked it up a couple years.
Yeah, no, they look way faster already. Maybe the confidence of an early goal here, an early 2-goal lead, has given them the speed that they need to try to battle in the series, try to pull back their reverse sweep here in the grand finals. This one on the backward, Juju, oh my goodness, an insane touch. The ball still ricochets out to the midfield. Pizza off the corner. Rockiers touches it up, but Aciduk right there. Pizza, you can't get up to that one. Not enough, and there is the man you were asking for. Gonna put one in the back of the net.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like, I just know what I'm talking about, apparently, because, I mean, Aciduk stepping up in a big way. Pizza just so zeroed on boost, not able to do anything. Has to try to use the momentum of the ball to pop it off the crossbar, but, I mean, you got to be crystal perfect with that one, and with zero boost, you don't have any room for error. Unfortunately, he just made a little bit too tough of a touch, and, I mean, honestly, I couldn't blame him. It's an absolutely devastating play to have to be put in. And, I mean, Spartans already seemingly kicking it up, matching them in the pace now. Because we talked about Inferno stepping up the speed, but it seems like Spartans have now also stepped up their speed. And I mean, it's really going to be back and forth for us this game.
Yeah, no, with a minute 30 remaining, Inferno trying to hold on, just trying to get one on the board here in this series. This ball popped up, but Kratozz, the big win, he's trying to stay with it. He's dunking it towards the net, but Juju, he was waiting patiently as this one sent out the backward. Rockiers, the nice touch out, trying to stay with it. He's going to find a little extension there as Kratozz now coming through. Pizza, not a lot of boost. Kratozz is up off the backboard. The follow-up attempt comes through. Marv, he's going to send it home. Just picture perfect passing.
Yeah, I mean, the Spartans are just catching the Inferno players with zero boost. It seems like Juju made a very risky challenge in the midfield with the only person on the team with boost. Pizza back with 0, having to kind of recover and try to play whatever he can. Maybe not getting the perfect rotation on pads, where now he's lacking in the the boost department. And I mean, a great play once again from the Spartans, and Marv really stepping up as Kratozz looking for a shot. A great save by Rockiers, and I mean Marv once again kind of stepping it up as that number one option in the playmaking department. I mean, I keep glazing him, but I mean he's having such a phenomenal series. I feel like it's rightfully deserved.
Yeah, no, he is playing fantastic, and the Spartans have really been clicking on all cylinders, but Inferno, they are still alive here, but they're going to have to find a goal, and they're going to have to try to save that. Kratozz sends it in, and the Spartans come roaring back to take the lead.
Yeah, and this is some great 50s coming out from Marv. Rockiers, super awkward, maybe expecting another touch coming out from Marv. And when that ball pops so far into the midfield with no follow-up or no midfield presence, it looks like Pizza was flipping upfield for boost, kind of expecting them, even though he got beat as the first man, expected his other two teammates to be able to anchor down on defense, and then he wasn't in there for a midfield cut if needed. And I mean, that's been the tale of time. This Inferno roster consistently playing the too optimal position where they're gonna get the beat, or they're playing for the team to get the beat, and when that doesn't happen, they get absolutely screwed. But Juju might get a shot here, but no. This 5 seconds left. Kratozz trying to put this away. Rockiers having to pop this one up. Pizza trying to get a 50. It's still up in the air. Marv sending this one down. Nobody is back for the Inferno roster, and that ball is gonna hit the ground. Spartans have completed the sweep. Inferno fall just as Samurai did in the Challenger League, and Spartans are your Season 12 Titan League champions.
Yeah, and I mean, just a clinical performance there by Spartans, pulling out the sweep, and Inferno they just did not seem like they were on their game today, Ventus, and I am still surprised. I mean, it is Titan League. They don't like their timeouts too much, but I mean, Spartans, even if they did call that timeout, it might have been tough to bring it back, but they just had a clinical performance there.
Yeah, I mean, they absolutely fantastic. I don't know if you want an interview, Rocker Man, but it seems like Marv, the absolute star of the series, is interested in doing one for us. So I mean, if we can get him into the booth, I mean, I got some questions to ask him, because I mean he had such a fantastic series. I mean, definitely the MVP for that team. I mean, obviously all three of those guys played well. Kratozz had some great shots, some great follow-ups, but I mean, there's a lot of Marv facilitating that, and I think that I mean, any of these players from the Spartans, it will be a great interview.
Oh yeah, no, I think we're gonna try to get Mr. Marv in here, as he had a great series. We'll see if we can get him in here to talk about what they had to do in that series to pull that one off. But I mean, all things considered, just a great performance by them all together. Unfortunately, Inferno, it wasn't quite meant to be for them today, but the Spartans proved why they were the best team in that one right there. As looks like we are just waiting for Marv to hop in the waiting room so we can drag him on in here. But I mean, yeah, it was a great series by them for sure here. As looks like we are trying to find Marv. I'm not sure where he is right now. There he is. Oh, he's in the six mans. All right, we'll get him in here. And there he is, Mr. Marv, the champion of the day. Marv, how are you feeling after that big sweep?
We're feeling good. I mean, there's really never a doubt. Oh, by the way, if I turn my camera on, will it show?
No, we don't
No,
have
it
that.
won't. It's just the voice, just the voice.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to start this interview by saying, Kratozz told me to say this, so shout out MKG, all the boys watching over in that server. Kratozz says thank you to you guys. I say thank you to you guys. That's huge. I mean, it was a great series. So yeah, feeling good.
Yeah, no. Oh, go ahead, Ventus.
Oh, I was just saying, okay, Marv. You know, I kind of was criticizing you a little bit in your first match against the Godfathers. I felt like you had a little bit of a lackluster performance, but I mean, over the last two performances against Venganza, and especially this one, you've been stepping up time and time again. What's kind of been your thought process, or like how have you been going into games? Have you just been going in trying to just be a team player? Or are you trying to like stand out? What's your like thought process when you go into these matches?
I mean, I think that there are like certain moments where you can put yourself above the rest and try and stand out. But honestly, like the teammates that I have, like Aciduk and Kratozz, both we play so well around each other, and like it gets annoying for other teams. Like they get frustrated because we have so much pressure. Like we keep our third man so high that there's really not, you don't have a lot of time to breathe, don't have a lot of time to get boost. And like as long as we're honing in on our challenges, challenging at the right time, I feel like there's really no team in Titan, at least this season, that could compete with us. But yeah, I think that overall, I think I go into it with a team mindset first. I want to hype up my boys. I want to have passion. I want to get them going before the series. But when it's time to lock in, it's time to lock in. So
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you played great. I think that you talked about being a very good team player and y'all clicking on offense, especially keeping that very high pressure. Worked out fantastic. I mean, you had some great passes, and I mean, obviously, this wasn't the roster that started off the season for the Spartans, and you kind of added, I believe, I think you were an addition and Kratozz was an addition to this team.
Aciduk was an addition as well.
Aciduk. Okay. Yeah. So all three players were kind of new. Was there any kind of growing pains? You talked about being able to mesh really well with these guys. Was that instantly, or was that something you had to work on?
I think it was a little bit instant. I think I was honestly surprised at how well we played together. Usually with like new teams, it takes a little bit, but I felt with this team like we meshed really well together. Me and Aciduk play a lot of twos, so we got the twos chemistry going, and then Kratozz kind of fills in as a like first man super aggressive role, and he plays it really well. But yeah, we started off the year with Darko, B, and Aciduk, and we knew instantly like that probably wasn't going to work out. We started off 2-2. I missed a lot of the season. I was gone from like July 1st, I think July 26th. So I missed a chunk of the season. For those of you like not following along with Titan, we were 5-7 going into the last week of the season. We needed to win both our games, and we did. It was me, Kratozz, and Duck. We swept Inferno, and we 3-2 Godfathers to even make the playoffs. And then from there we were super confident in the way we were playing. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you guys definitely seemed like you guys clicked, especially towards the end of the season. You talked about needing to win those two very crucial games, and I mean, there's another point in this series. Inferno had gone up 2-0. It looked like they had finally found their footing. Were you guys worried at all? Did you guys have to calm yourself down even though you guys were up 3 games? Was there any kind of talk about what you needed to change or if you needed to change anything when it seemed like Inferno was starting to get some momentum?
I think Inferno like found their footing in that game. I think we really like when we were down 2, it was pretty early. So we all three of us knew we're like, hey, we're only down 2. We have plenty of time left on the clock. It's not like, the game is over yet. We have plenty of time to work it out, to score another 2 goals. And we had been scoring pretty, I don't want to say easily because Inferno's, a great team, but we had been scoring like pretty confidently. We've been scoring at a good rate for the first 3 games. So it just kind of felt like, okay, if they can get 2, with how we're playing, why can't we go out and get 3 and win the game? And that's obviously what we ended up doing. But yeah, I was super, super happy with the way everyone played.
Yeah, I gotta cut in here and ask a question because I know you were looking at this and you mentioned you guys barely squeaking in at the end of the season. No one on the desk on the pre-show predicted you guys to win. You guys were kind of an underdog team to make a run. What was that like? Kind of being the pseudo underdogs. Obviously taking a big win in the semifinals, but what was that run kind of like to make it here and win the championship?
Honestly, I didn't think that we were underdogs. I've been, you've seen the Spartan server. I've been saying for a while that, we're on the come up. I think Nemesis thought we were underdogs because, they're not watching. They're not paying attention. They don't see the what we're doing to other teams. So I had that screenshot where, all 4 people on the pre-show predicted Inferno. What are we doing, guys? That's embarrassing. we need to lock in. We need to see that Spartans are very obviously up and coming, great. I want to thank Foam for the whole year. He was great. And I don't know. It was a great run. I was super happy with the way we played. I think Venganza was by far our toughest opponent. That going 7 was a really good matchup. We honestly, no disrespect to Inferno, but we felt like the Venganza series was okay. We win this and we have a really good chance at winning the finals just because of how good Venganza was. Yeah, but all 4 pre-show hosts predicting Inferno, kind of just a little bit of fuel under the fire, like fuel under us. We were like, okay, people don't think we're gonna win this, so be it. Like we'll go out and we'll prove that we we're very comfortable against this team. So I think we did that.
Yeah, no, I think you guys did that as well, and big congratulations to you guys taking it all the way, taking the championship, and yeah, pretty dominating fashion as well. Any final words or thoughts before we let you head out?
No, but yet again, like shout out to Kratozz, shout out to Aciduk, and shout out to Foam, like the whole organization. Obviously, I wish that Samurai could have put up a better fight, but I told Stites after they lost, I said, we got you boys, don't worry about it. We're gonna get this. We're gonna get a championship for the org. So we went ahead and we did that. But yeah, one more shout out to MKG, to all those boys. Don't know if Kratos was on the stream, so I gotta say it again. He was like, you have to say it. So yeah, I gotta make sure I get it out there. But yeah, huge shout out to Nemesis, the whole league did a great job this year. It was really really fun. Probably some of the most competitive Rocket League that I've played, at least again in a league setting. Because Titan was super competitive with the cut down to 8 teams. So I don't know. I just want to say thank you to you guys because it wouldn't be possible without casting and everyone doing their separate little part, graphics and power rankings. Even though we were a little too low on those every single week, but it's all good. But yeah, I mean, just huge shout out to everyone. It was a great season. I'm super excited. I definitely will be back for next season. So we'll see if we can complete the back to back. But I'll have to talk about that later. But yeah, thank you guys so much. It was a great season. So
Yeah, no problem. And thank you. Appreciate the shout outs as well. And big congratulations. We definitely look forward to seeing if you guys can bring it back next season. But congratulations to Mr. Marv there and the rest of Spartans. Big ups to them, Ventus. I mean, just a dominating performance there in the grand finals. Marv, obviously you mentioned him, looked like the MVP, in most of those games. I don't know if he did end up with 4 for 4 MVPs, but I mean, he looked really well. And I mean, the Spartans, they just took care of business and, a really great performance from them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to brag, but I mean, I picked the Spartans to win.
Hey,
I'm not saying that I was right, but
hey, let's go look at my bracket prediction and let's talk about that. Don't talk about the pre-show. Let's look at my bracket prediction. Go tell everyone who I had winning the grand finals there. But but I digress. Yeah, we're just about gonna wrap up season 12 here. I do gotta give a couple of big shout outs before we head off, specifically to our Nemesis Premium subscribers, especially our Challenger Plus, Cortera, Noah, Wiggle, Fenrir, Parker, Jax, Neon, Speed, Street Soul, and everyone else who was following along today on the channel, watching things today, supporting Nemesis throughout season 12. We had another great season. I feel like Ventus, we had a lot of very competitive leagues this season. I feel like pretty much all of them had some really great matches. I think the playoffs, there were some crazy game 7s all over the place. And all in all, I mean, what are your thoughts here as we kind of close out season number 12?
I mean, honestly, this was. I mean, I've been in Nemesis for a very, very long time. I mean, I've been here since season 1. I haven't played every season, but I've been here since season 1, and I really think that this was one of the most competitive seasons we've ever had. I mean, there are so many upsets, so many close series. I mean, obviously, grand finals had a few too many sweeps for my liking, but I mean, there's still. I mean, even the semifinals, there's some amazing matches, and I mean, really, there wasn't a single team where we are going into it like they definitely have the win. There's no clear cut 100% confidence where like this team is going to win. I mean, even when Venom went 18-0, we're like there's still some really good underdog, dark horses, and they really have a good shot to win. And I think that just attests to how really competitive this league is. And even if you find yourself down kind of 0-4, 0-6, you can still make a crazy comeback. You can still get hot. I mean, I know the Rooks did that this season, and they ended up making a run into the playoffs. And I think that really it just comes down to how bad you want it, the grit and the grind of Nemesis.
Yeah, no, definitely the grind. The grind continues, as they say, Ventus. And I think we had a lot of great teams this season, a lot of great players. I'm really happy with how things turned out. And as always, we appreciate everyone that's been supporting us, especially our staff members. A lot of people behind the scenes don't get as much credit as maybe they deserve. But I do want to give big shout outs to all of our management members, Cozy Boy, DJD, Dr. Shadow, Mallow, and Mealy. A lot of them put in a lot of great work this season to kind of keep things running behind the scenes. So big shout out to them. Shout out to all of our team leads as well, especially our streamers that helped out. Big shout out to Crip, who helped out with a lot of the matches, streaming the playoffs to make sure we got content over to you guys. As always, big shout out to all of our casters as well. We had a great booth of casters this entire season. You guys saw them all season long. Big shout out to them for putting in some big work out there, bringing a lot of great matches to everybody there. But really, just all in all, I'd say it was a fantastic season. We had some really great matches, a lot of fun there, and I know we're all excited to see how season number 13 is going to go. Ventus, that seems weird to say. I know you mentioned you've been here since season 1, but now we're going to be coming up on season 13 in just a couple months.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait personally. Obviously, I wasn't able to be a starter this season. But I mean, I've just had so much fun keeping in touch with the league. Obviously, casting has been so fun. I've been able to watch so many amazing matches and be able to be there for the ride, as they say. And I think that Nemesis will continue to grow. I think it'll get even more competitive going into next season. I think that we'll see some crazy upsets, some crazy teams, and I'm really excited for the awards. I want to see who kind of gets the MVPs, who gets the finals MVPs. Obviously, I threw my vote in for Marv there in that Titan League matchup. But I mean, those end of season rewards are always a blast to hear, and so I think that's what I'm most looking forward to right now.
Yeah, no, and that'll be the next thing coming up. So make sure you guys stay tuned about that. We'll be in touch about awards and the awards show and how we're gonna go about revealing those in the coming weeks. So make sure you guys stick around in the Discord if you haven't already. Make sure you hop in there. Get ready for next season. If you're a player or a free agent from this season, keep your eyes peeled for the season 13 interest form. If you're a returning player, you'll have to fill out that interest form to come back for season number 13, which tentatively is looking like middle of October, give or take. So we got a couple months of downtime, but I mean the drafts and everything before that format reveal happens well before we might see the actual opening day. So make sure you guys stay tuned in the Discord. Make sure you guys follow the Twitch channel if you haven't already. But that is going to wrap it up here for us for season number 12. Another great season in the books. I'm glad to have you all around for the ride. But that is going to be all for tonight. Once again, thank you guys very much for watching, and we will talk to you guys next season.